Hey guys, this is Spencer from Pixel and Bracket. You may be aware that there's a tutorial on my channel about how to round corners in Adobe Illustrator in CS6. So on that tutorial, I got a comment about how to work with those rounded corners and make them square again or affect just one of them without actually breaking up the shape that you're using. So that got me thinking, and I realized that the shape builder tool is available in like way earlier versions of Illustrator. So it's definitely available in CS6. So this tutorial is about how to work with rounded corners in an easier way with the shape builder tool without breaking your shape apart. Here we are in Illustrator. I've opened up a new document that's 1920 by 1080, and that's all I've really done. So what I want to show you first, and I'll put links up in the top. I probably already did. I put a card to the old tutorial. But if you grab the rectangle tool, the shortcut key is M, and you draw a square by holding shift, or even a rectangle, doesn't matter. This guy, I'm going to change the stroke to maybe like 10 so you guys can see it. Maybe we'll do 15. And then I'm going to grab my selection tool again, and I have a square here that's just a stroke, goes around the edge. If you're in CC, you can just grab these little guys and you can round the corners. Easy enough. If you're not, then you're not going to see those little guys. I'm going to make sure I turn Smart Guides on, by the way. That's in the View drop down. And then I'm going to hide the corner widget because I don't need it. I want you guys in CS6 to understand what I'm talking about. There's no corner widget in CS6. So I'm going to grab the Effect drop down and go to Stylize and then Round Corners. And from there, I can actually on this little dialog box, I can hit preview, and then I can type in 100 pixels for the radius and hit tab and just see how that affects, and that's perfect. So that gives me some rounded corners, but the real issue here is that it rounds every corner. So in that tutorial, I broke apart each of these corners, and then you like basically join them back together with a different square. I don't think you have to do all that. In fact, what I really think you need to do is first go to Object and then make sure you expand Appearance. So you got to expand this shape. Now that we've expanded that, I can make another rectangle and I can just cross over the top of this one and make sure you go, see how that line goes above that corner? That's what you want to do to make sure that those two overlap. And so you guys can see this, I'm going to select both of them and get rid of the fill on that. So you see these two overlap. What I'm going to do now is select both, go to my shape builder tool, which is this little guy over here, 2 circles and a pointer. It's Shift M as a shortcut, and from there you can see how it recognizes each of the different shapes. If I hold the Option or Alt key and that my cursor changes from a plus to a minus, I can just click and drag through these bottom 2 shapes and it's going to get rid of them. But what it does is it also gets rid of those bottom 2 rounded corners on that shape. So now I've got just the top 2 rounded and the bottom 2 are square. And if you use the direct selection tool, you can grab points on this shape. So I can grab the bottom 2 and I can just drag this guy back out, and I can hold shift, and that little pink line is my Smart Guides. It's helping me keep it in line. And I can change the size of this shape if I really wanted to. What I can also do is if I draw another square, and because I have these Smart Guides turned on, it tells me where I intersect with the top line and the far right line here. So I know that this is actually my corner if I wanted to square off this corner. So if I just draw a square here that covers up that rounded corner and I let go, and then I go and select both of these with my selection tool, that's shortcut key V. I grab my shape builder tool again, Shift M. I can once again, this time instead of subtracting, I can actually add these shapes together. So if I just draw through here with the plus and let go, it adds all those shapes together and it squares off that corner. That's a pretty easy way. I think that using the shape builder tool to combine and merge shapes together is probably way easier than cutting them up and like pasting them back together. So think about all of these things, all of these shapes, all of these lines as malleable objects that you can combine together. So I can draw another square to combine to this square and make the shape that I want it to be. So when you're looking at shapes, when you're looking at designs, I think you can check my umbrella tutorial. I'll put a card up there. I tried to build that without actually drawing the umbrella. I tried to use shapes to make the umbrella. it's an interesting way. I think it's a pretty good exercise in thinking about negative space and how shapes come together. If you guys have any question about this tutorial, don't forget to check out the other rounded corner tutorial. And then if you're in Adobe CC, well, you've got nothing to worry about because you have live corners. So it's pretty easy to round corners in Adobe CC. Anyway, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something. Like this video if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.